Hey guys, I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, live from the Greatness Factory every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Super Coach. We multiply life, we multiply money, and we multiply business. And every week I'm looking for a great topic to dig into, right? And this week it came to me probably a week or so ago is, are you a bosshole? Are you difficult to work with? And I can admit freely in my life, I've been a bosshole different times in my life. But I found out why. I figured out why, and I want to share that with you. So if you work with a difficult person, if you are a difficult person, how do you work with someone who's demanding, who pushes, who expects big things of you? How do you perform at higher levels so your boss doesn't have to be a boss hole? And how do you make some minor tweaks to feed your sheep, to constantly feed the golden geese that are laying the golden eggs, right? Today on Super Coach, I'm going to show you this is called the bosshole. Hey guys, this is Coach Micheal Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Hey guys, happy Tuesday to you guys. Coach Micheal Burt coming to you live from the Greatness Factory. Just flew in from Tampa, Florida. 83 degrees, people walking around in shorts. I was taking lunches with my man Adam Wright, who's in Monster Producer. Also had a big meeting with Invest, Jeff Ferguson down there, sitting out at Bahama Breeze. And then I rode over to Clearwater, Florida, looked at the ocean, felt the energy. And then I flew back home into Tennessee, man. And it's damp, and it's dreary, and it's negative, and it's low energy. And so here was one of my mottos I made up many years ago, is that I'm going to carry my weather with me. Everywhere I go, I'm going to carry my weather with me. Right, Jason Walbert? And so if you're out there today, guys, and you're watching this show, every week I try to bring something of value to you. I believe money only changes hands when problems are solved. I believe that when you create enough value, people will exchange value for that. And maybe if they won't exchange value, maybe they ain't the right person for you. Some will, some won't. So what? And today I thought about all of the leaders we work with, all of the people we work with. And then I thought, wouldn't it be a great show if we tackled a concept called the boss hole? And if you're a person that is difficult to work for, how do you fight through that? Maybe you are always that way. If you study personality profiles, most of them will tell you this person will very seldom change. I heard it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did hear that Tony Robbins went through 43 assistants in a 1-year cycle. Okay, that's a lot of assistants in a 1-year cycle, man, to go through. So the question is he difficult to work for? Because probably from his perspective, he's like, man, I'm the one who built a $400 million company. There ain't anything wrong with me. Maybe you need to play at a much higher level. So today we're going to tackle this. Are you a boss hole? It's okay if you are, man. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like you got to be liked by everybody. You got to be friendly. You got to be diplomatic with everybody. Okay? What does it matter? Does it matter if Nick Saban's a boss hole? If he gets results, if he wins national championships every year, does it matter? Okay? Do people have to like you to do business with you? Because I've always heard before, we hear this a lot. They got to know you. They got to trust you. They got to like you. What if I told you I do business with some people I don't like? But they are the best at what it is they do every single day. If I was having heart surgery, would it matter to me if I liked the guy or if he was the best guy in the world? And so I'm going to get into a little bit about my story, about the results that I got, and with young people as a high school basketball coach, and then transitioning into the CEO, starting a company. And then we're going to get into what do you believe, because I actually believe that being a bosso has a lot to do not only with the boss, but with the employees. If you have the right employees, if you have the right people who believe the same things you do, if you have self-motivated people, if you have people that come with batteries included, you ain't got to be a boss hole, man, because people come in ready to go. You only have to be a boss hole when people ain't doing what they're supposed to do. And then we're going to get into how do you actually flip the script if you are difficult, if you're not getting results. How do you feed your sheep, the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit, And then I'm going to finish up today's show is if you work for a difficult person, if you work for one of these boss holes, what can you do? Because there's some tricks that you actually can do to keep them at bay. Now, I'm going to tell you right out of the gates, guys. I coach them boss holes, man. I coach them boss holes, okay? And so I want you to think about this. I got Will Webb on here. Roger Sargent, good to see you, my friend. Great talking to you. Kim Powers, Jason Walbert. Let me see my other folks that are on here. I'm trying to push a little button and show me all the people on here. And so I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever worked for a boss hole? Do you think you're a boss hole? And so let's kind of dive into this before I get you to a kryptonite to start you off today. Here's what I figured out. When I was a high school basketball coach, I was a person of authority. Players did what I want, how I wanted it, when I wanted it. They did it exactly the way I wanted, or guess what? They didn't play. And if they valued playing enough, they would toe the line. They would get in line. I motivated very early in my career through fear. I had something of authority they wanted. If they wanted it, they had to do what I asked them to do. And my staff was exactly the same way. Because in the coaching world, there's a clear head coach. There's a position of authority. You either get on board or you get out of the way. So there was no questioning. There was constant results that we got. So people said, okay, we'll do it. There was a first assistant. But then when I started my own company, I began to realize that we're not working with kids anymore, man. We're working with adults. And when we're working with adults, there's a different dynamic in play. Number one, they got their own mind. They got their own body. They got their own heart. They got their own spirit. And now we're operating, number one, people have devalued authority, although the Bible clearly talks about authority throughout, of who you work for, honoring your parents, honoring your mother and father, honoring your elders, honoring people in authoritative position, honoring your government officials. We seem to have lost that. And so now we're operating from a moral authority versus a formal authority, which means we really can't make people do what we want them to do. So now we got to flip the script, become people of interest, and we got to come back and attract people to us, okay? And so for you, the question would be, and I'll end this segment before I go to some kryptonite, is how excited would you be to get up and come work for you? How excited would you be to get up on Monday morning and come work with you? I push my people. I challenge my people. I expect things from my people. I push every ounce of potential out of my people. Now, at times, I've had the wrong people. And when I had the wrong people, I was a boss hole. I felt like I had to be a boss hole because I had to get more out of them. They didn't want to give me more. They pushed me. They resisted me. And you know what? It didn't have anything to do with me because I was a bad person. It didn't really have anything to do with them because they were bad people. It just, we were not a good fit. So the boss hole, we can't all peg this on the boss. This is both some of the employees' fault and some of the boss's fault. Okay? Now, as I've gotten more mature in my company and my leadership, I begin to think about the body and the mind and the heart and the spirit of our people. I begin to try to get moral authority and buy-in versus a formal authority. And I begin to work with people. But number one, I had to get the right people on the bus, man. Wasn't that they were bad people. I just had to get people that believed the same things I did. So let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of this segment. Today we're talking boss hole. Boss holes have no awareness of how they affect other people. The first step is awareness of your actions and your impacts. Now here's the deal, guys. For all the people watching this out there, you may be a boss hole and you don't know it. You may be a boss hole and you do know it. But here's the question. Is your strategy working? Is it working? Are you driving toward the dominant focus? Are you driving up the dominant aspiration? Are you moving the ball across the finish line? Are you taking action and getting other people? Are you getting buy-in to you? And if you are, keep going. But if you're not, it could be time to change. We get into segment number 2. I'm going to show you how hiring the right people and lining up on what you believe with your core values is a strong philosophy on how to eliminate the employees being difficult and the boss being difficult. You're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Gone are the days where you just buy a book. When you pre-order my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my 11th book, my most comprehensive book, let me tell you what I'm going to give to you the minute you pre-order. I'm going to give you 5 hours of coaching from me on the book. I'm going to give you access to Monster Producer, my biggest coaching program online, live, every 30 days for 6 months. I'm going to give you access to my Total Growth Academy, over 400 coaching sessions. I'm going to give you 7 webinars with me where you can interact with me on every chapter of the book. Go get Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book. Hey guys, welcome back. Super Coach. Got that new book out, that new pre-release out. Thank you guys for all the people who have ordered this. I believe my new book can become your coach in every area of your life. What does the book cover? 200 and something pages, hardback. It covers every missing structure you could ever have. It's really for the person who is serious or serial about driving their potential. It's for the coach. It's for the leader. It may be for the boss holes watching the show today, man. It's for the people out there who's trying to get more out of their people. When I was teaching today, I taught several different classes. I want to give a shout out to Adam Wright, who's watching us today. Adam, thank you for my time in Tampa with you. I loved every second of it. I tried to convince my wife to move down there. Brad White, good to see you today, man. Appreciate and proud of you. Kim Tyson, Roger Sargent, Jason Walbert, Melanie Mayo, my mother. Today we're talking, what's up with the boss holes, man? What's up with the boss holes? I can honestly say in my life, I've been a boss hole from time to time. I've been difficult. I've been arrogant. I've been overconfident. I pushed people too hard. I pushed people away, drove people crazy, forced people to quit, fired people. Man, I've done it all, man. Right, Sammy Lee Bradley? I've done it all in my career. Now, as I matured to 40 years old, run a company now for 10 or 15 years, now I'm starting to figure this out, man. I don't have to be a boss hole to get things done. Only do I have to be a boss hole when people ain't getting things done. But why wouldn't they get things done? Because they're the wrong people. And so in this segment, I want to talk to you a lot about lining yourself up with the right people. Now, we teach a big concept in our coaching programs called the explanation of services. And a lot of people do not get how powerful having a great explanation of services is, because it drives everything you do. You see, the EOS says, here's what we believe. Here's why we believe it. Here's what it is we do. Here's how we do it different. Here's all the people we've done it for. And if we could do it for you, what would stop us from getting started with each other? And so if I believe work should be the distribution channel for your talents, I believe in people that come with batteries included versus have to be wound up. I believe that many of us will be measured later in life by how we impact people through our work. I believe in a good team is where the strengths of some compensate for the weaknesses of others. I believe in coming in early and staying late. I believe in delivering more value than what we charge. I believe in increasing value versus decreasing price. If I believe all of these things and I hire somebody that don't believe that, let's say I believe in coming in early, staying late. You believe in coming in late and leaving early. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a problem with each other, man. Because we don't believe the same things. If I see the customer as the revenue driver, and I see the customer as a person that pays everybody's salaries, but you see the customer as a nuisance, and then now we got a problem with each other. Now guess what I got to be? I got to be a boss hole, man. I don't want to be a boss hole. And I tell people, look, I don't like being put in a corner. I don't like being put in a box. I don't like being forced to come out swinging. I don't like having to hardline negotiate. I don't like having to feel like I got to tell you what to do. I want people that come with batteries included. Now, when you and I believe the same things, my boss hole meter goes down, okay? My increased fun meter goes up, and we commit to each other. Now, let me show you what a commitment continuum. I want you to think of commitment from low to high. And I see Stephanie and Mike Hardwick on here. Good to see you. You know, I see Chris Greger on here, okay? Sammy Haynes, my great trainer up in Woodbury at my Greatness Factory's on, get some coaching today. I want you to see commitment from low to high. Why would I give you low commitment? I want you to think of 3 very low levels of commitment. I rebel or I quit. I could show up every day and quit on you, man. I dress up, paint up, spray up, pretty up, cut my hair, get ready, show up to work, but guess what? I'm not. I'm not at work. I'm here physically in the body, but I'm not here with my mind and my heart and my spirit. So what do? You got to do? You got to be a boss hole, man. You got to check on me. You got to psych me up. You got to motivate me. You got to try to get me going. I put you in a bad position as my boss because guess what? I don't come with batteries included. You got to boss hole up, man. And that's whose fault is that? My fault as the employee. Okay, now, so the second level of commitment is what's called malicious obedience. And malicious obedience is when we don't believe the same things. I believe one thing, you believe another thing, and because of this, you maliciously obey, which means you kind of set it up to fail. You don't mind secretly watching people fail. And oddly enough, I see this all the time coaching companies. People are actually happy when a company fails because they don't like their bosses. They don't like the company. They don't believe the same things. Now, let's look at the third level of commitment. So in the commitment level, here's no commitment, a little bit of commitment. Look at the third level. This is called willing compliance. Willing compliance is where I show up, I do my job, but I'm really not convicted. I don't have any passion. I don't stay early. I don't stay late. I don't come early. I don't stay late. I don't put any extra. And so my boss, who's pushing and driving and trying to make it successful, got a Bosshole up again. Because guess what? Now all my motivation's coming from you. But what if we do believe the same things? What if we hire people that believe the same things we do? What if we work with people that believe the same things we do? Our commitment goes up to what? Creative excitement, heartfelt commitment, synergy. Now we come to work every day and we got good mojo, good positive energy. There's no boss holes. There's no a-holes. There's no anything because guess what? We all want the same thing. We can disagree. We can argue behind closed doors. But the energy is strong. The energy is good because we believe the same things. So what I'm telling you is there's a moral authority and a formal authority. Here's what I found out. I was most of a bosshole when I had the wrong people on the bus. And I'm trying to convince them to do something they didn't want to do. Okay? My bosshole meter goes down when I got the right people on the bus. We all want the same things. We're all committed. I'm easier to work with. They're easier to work with because we all believe the same thing. So let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. And you know what's interesting, Brandon? One of the most popular books out there today. I think this ties into the bosshole concept. We were looking at this the other day to see where my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, was on Amazon. With the pre-release, we give you 6 months of Monster Producer Coaching, 66-page ebook. We give you 5 hours of video. We give you webinars with me. I don't care if you come to the Greatest Factory to meet me in person. When you spend $29.99, you get all of that when you go to CoachBurt.com/new book. Well, when I was looking at Amazon, guess what the #1 book on Amazon is? Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, I want you to think about this. Because a wimpy kid goes to work and says, my boss is an a-hole. My boss pushes me. My boss wants me to show up. My boss wants me to get better. My boss wants me to dress up. My boss wants me to deliver the goods. Why is Diary of a Wimpy Kid #1 on Amazon, man? What does it say about our nation? We got to toughen up, man. We got to get better. So here's some kryptonite to get you out of here. Do you inspire other people to take action at much bigger levels? Do you know the difference between inspiration and motivation? See, a good boss, a good leader, a good manager is going to inspire. That's to breathe life into their people. You can't give away what you don't possess. The word motivation means to see something through to its logical conclusion. So a good manager, a good boss is going to inspire and motivate. The word motivate means to move, baby. It means to get people excited and get people jacked up. When we come back in segment number 3, I'm going to speak directly to all those boss holes out there, and I'm going to show you how to feed your sheep in all 4 parts of their nature to get maximum loyalty. You're watching Coach Micheal Burt, and I'm the Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Gone are the days where you just buy a book. When you pre-order my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my 11th book, my most comprehensive book, let me tell you what I'm going to give to you the minute you pre-order. I'm going to give you 5 hours of coaching from me on the book. I'm going to give you access to Monster Producer, my biggest coaching program, online, live, every 30 days for 6 months. I'm going to give you access to my Total Growth Academy, over 400 coaching sessions. I'm going to give you 7 webinars with me where you can interact with me on every chapter of the book. Go get Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book. Welcome back, Super Coach. Every single week coming to you at 4 p.m. About to do another podcast called Good Coach, Bad Coach for all the coaches out there in the world. Hope you download this on Super Coach on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic. Share it. Send me a review if you like it. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I believe good coaches sometimes can be boss holes. I believe they can be a-holes. I believe sometimes it's the workers that are a-holes, and the boss has got to be boss holes to get them to get things done. But at the end of the day, if we're not all on the same page, rowing in the same direction, what can we really do in the world, guys? We're trying to move this ball down the field toward what? Toward a dominant focus. So shout out to a lot of people that are watching me today. Jason Walbert, you my guy, brother. Thank you. Jamie Stillman, thank you for buying all those books. Chris Gregory. Jason Walbert said, the boss hole you have may be better than the boss hole you're going to get. Man, that's a good one. Roger Sargent, proud of you. Will Webb, my man, monster producer. Coach, what's up, Will Webb? You and I got some things cooking in the hopper, brother. So I want to say shout out to everybody. Enjoyed my time with Churchill Mortgage this morning. We picked up Micheal Brown, who is almost a $100 million mortgage producer, was with his team this morning. Fascinating guy, fascinating team. Then we did the leadership team. Then we did the ops team, and excited about a big 2017 with them as well. Today we're talking boss holes, and are you one? How do you work one? In this segment, I'm going to break this down, and I'm going to say, here's how, if you are a boss hole, here's some things you can do to get better, to get buy-in, to get loyalty. Number one, you got to understand is that you got to feed your sheep, man. You got to feed your sheep. After the resurrection, Jesus and Peter were talking, and he asked Peter 3 times, do you love me? Every time Peter said, yes, Lord. Yes, I love you. And every time Jesus came back and said, feed my sheep. Tend to my lambs. Feed my sheep. So what do you got to do? You got to know as a boss, one of the things you got to do is you got to feed your sheep. Tonight I'm feeding my sheep. Brandon's already told me he's probably going to get the biggest steak on the menu. I'm taking my team down to Stony River in Nashville, and I'm going to feed my sheep in the body with a big old steak and probably some gratin potatoes and salad, and we're going to have a great time celebrating a killer year. So you got to feed them in 4 areas: the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Here's what that means. You got to feed them knowledge consistently. You got to feed them skill consistently. You got to feed them passion and compassion consistently. You got to feed them confidence, vision for the spirit, knowledge, skill, desire, confidence. The reason some people have bored cultures, static cultures, is because the boss holes ain't feeding their sheep. Okay, and trust me, there's some people on this right here, I guarantee you, that are in static cultures because the boss holes have not been out there growing their people. So what have people done? They've contracted and retreated. They've gotten bored out of their freaking minds, and they're not getting any better. How would you feel if you had to get up and go to a place that was negative every day? How would you feel if you had to get up and go to a negative culture? How would you feel if you had to feel like you were walking in the principal's office every time you show up at work? You wouldn't feel good, would you? You'd say, hey, man, get that boss hole off of me. But here's the deal. If I do create an environment of growth, if I do feed you in the body, mind, heart, and spirit, then it's up to you, the employee, to show up every day, batteries included, ready to go. And so for you, you got to start making up your mind that you're going to mature as a leader and start asking yourself this question: how do I get better as a leader to feed my sheep? Right, David Crook, you got to start asking yourself. I got to start asking myself, all the people that are watching us out there, I got to start asking myself, what can I do to feed my sheep better? Well, I got to be well fed. I got to get better. You can't give away what you don't possess. People of interest have knowledge and skill and desire and confidence. And so what you have to do, what I've noticed as I've gotten older, is my self-awareness has gotten bigger. Sometimes I expect things from people they can't deliver. Should I quit expecting things? Should I back off? Should I not push? See, I want my employees to go, man, that guy he pushes me as much as he pushes y'all. Y'all paying to get coached. Okay? I want them to say, man, I'm a better person. I push harder because of that guy. And so what I want to do, what I'm really starting to do is the recognition of unique ability within both me and my employees, and trying to put them in a place where they can come in and do what it is they love every day. There's 4 things that motivate people: progress, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Just like the 5 love languages will motivate a person. Understand a person's love language. So when you're a boss hole, you don't get it, man. You just drive over people, and you never take time to have compassion for the heart. You never take time to tap into the spirit. You just say, make more phone calls, work harder, have a better attitude, show up. How excited would you be to go to work for you, okay? I remember sitting on the back patio one night, back in my earlier days, and we had lost a game, and I was sitting on the back patio with Brandon Burks, who was the men's coach. I was the women's coach. We were having a alcoholic beverage because we had lost and been pitiful, and I looked at Brandon Burks, and he could probably tell you he remembers this, and I said, would you be excited about playing for you? Because after the way I coached tonight, after the way I acted tonight, I wouldn't be excited about playing for me. You know, one time after we lost a game at Lebanon High School, I went into their auxiliary gymnasium, locked them out. They were supposed to have prom in that gym. I locked them out at their own gym, practiced my team for 2 hours after the game. Now, did we need it? Yes. Was that a Bosshole thing to do? Yes. Did that build any affinity toward me? No. I remember bringing players in at 4:30 in the morning after a loss. I remember running. I remember all the things I used to do to get people motivated. Okay? Did it work? I don't know, man. We won a championship, but did it work in the long run? So let me give you some final tips to get you out of here. If you work for a controlling person, if you work for a person that really is pushing hard, how do you work with a Bosshole? Number one, you got to communicate constantly. You want to get them off your back? Communicate like crazy. Number two, anticipate their thought patterns, needs. Okay? Number three, let them know of progress. Close files. Show initiative. Don't wait until told. I guarantee a person will be less of a Bosshole if you take action. I wonder if you work with Nick Saban every day. You say, man, this guy's the best in the world, but he pushes every button. Do you want to get better or not? When things don't go your way, do you say it's Nick Saban's fault because he's a Bosshole? Or do you say, man, I gotta do my job. I gotta get better. So if you work with the Bosshole, what they're looking for from you to be less Bosshole-ish, I guess, if that's a word. It ain't a word, but I just created it, is here. I want you to take your division and take so much ownership of it. Run with it. Take initiative. Don't wait until told. Read their patterns. Anticipate what they need. And then take that ball and just friggin' run with it as fast as you can. And you know what'll happen? Their Bossholishness will go down and your enjoyment will go up. Every single week I come to you live, guys, from the Greatness Factory. Come see me. I'll be teaching Monster Producer this week. At Cool Springs. What am I supposed to tell them? Kryptonite? We got one more kryptonite to get them out of here. I'm teaching Monster Producer live on Thursday in Cool Springs. Listen, it's a time of year. I don't want you to limp across the finish line. Don't make me come over to your house and run you around the parking lot, man. Quit limping across the finish line and push this puppy. Don't be a Bosshole. Don't be difficult. Don't be difficult if people are delivering the goods, man. Just put them in an environment they can thrive in. That's what I would tell you. And if you hadn't taken advantage of my new book deal, $29.99, Brandon, pop that thing up. This book will attack every area of your life. This is a book that helps you break through your ceilings in life and in business. CoachBurt.com/new book. And what you get is crazy, man. So, I mean, I've had people all over the country said, I can't believe you're giving that much away when people buy your book. 6 months of Monster Producer online. 5 hours of coaching from me immediately. 66-page ebook. What I got to give you, man, to get you to take action on it. Quit being a Bosshole, man. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. Every week I come into your live. Do you have the right employees? Because if you don't have the right employees, you're going to be a Bosshole all the time. They're going to back you in the corner. Do you believe the same thing? There must be a fit on the culture and values for this thing to work. Now that I got the right employees, my Bosshole meter's gone down. I can tell you this. I still push. I still drive. But I don't feel like I have to control everything because I got capable people who want to go out and impact the world in a meaningful way. Possibly you got the wrong people. And what did Colin say? Summer life is about getting the wrong people off the bus, getting the right people on the bus, and getting the wrong people off the bus, and putting the right people in the right seats. Every week I come to you guys. It's been a fun show. The Bosshole. Are you one? Do you work for one? Download this, Super Coach. You can watch it. I was watching it on a plane last night from Tampa. I was watching to see how good the show was. iTunes, Android, Stitcher Radio. Please share it with other people. And I'll be coming back to teach Good Coach, Bad Coach in just a little bit. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. And I appreciate you letting me be yours. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Gone are the days where you just buy a book. When you pre-order my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my 11th book, my most comprehensive book, let me tell you what I'm going to give to you the minute you pre-order. I'm going to give you 5 hours of coaching from me on the book. I'm going to give you access to Monster Producer, my biggest coaching program, online, live, every 30 days for 6 months. I'm going to give you access to my Total Growth Academy, over 400 coaching sessions. I'm going to give you 7 webinars with me where you can interact with me on every chapter of the book. Go get Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book.